Hi, all. Today, I'm going to be talking a little bit about the concept of abundance versus attachment. When we hear the word attachment, I'm not sure what you think, but it usually means we are connected to something, we're attached to something. And the idea of abundance means that we are looking at something through the lens of possibility. I'll explain a little bit further. When somebody becomes attached to something, we typically think people or things. So, obviously, any friendships, relationships, family members, we are attached to people. And the root of all suffering is attachment. That's why if we break up with somebody, or if we lose somebody to a death, or if they just are no longer a part of our lives, we feel that loss and we suffer because we had an attachment to this person. We also feel attachment to things, and not just in a materialistic American kind of way, but that is something. But we also have attachment to things of value. If you break something that is of big value, we feel stressed out and there is a loss and we suffer for it. Especially if it's something that is useful, like a car. If your car breaks down and you don't have transportation, that's a really big deal. We suffer for that. It causes us a lot of stress. If you were to lose or break a family heirloom, that would also cause you a lot of stress and distress because it means something, right? We're attached to that in some way. What people don't often think about when we talk about attachment is we get attached to ideas. We have an idea of what something should look like, could look like, we want it to look like. And when that doesn't come to fruition, we suffer. So that's more what we're talking about today, is the attachment to an idea or something that we wish could or would be. For example, if we enter into a new romantic relationship, we automatically start thinking about the future and we become attached to this idea of what it could be, of what we want it to be. And when that doesn't happen, we suffer for it. If we go into a yoga workshop for handstands, a lot of times we'll have an attachment to an idea. If I take this workshop, I'm going to leave and I'm going to know how to do a handstand. And if that doesn't happen, we beat ourselves up and we suffer for it. We might be thinking, I didn't do it right, I'll never get this, and we might give up. Let's talk about looking at things through a lens of abundance. I'm going to use the yoga class for example because there's a little less attachment to that, hopefully. So if I go into a yoga handstand workshop, and I am attached to that idea that I'm going to nail a handstand, and it doesn't happen, I'm going to think I got nothing out of that class, or there's something wrong with me. I'm damaged in some way, and it's going to be very disparaging. However, looking at it through a lens of abundance maybe means I'm going to go into this class. I might nail a handstand. I might not. However, I'm going to have fun with it. If I fall over, I'm going to laugh at myself, and I'm going to try to look at how I can improve. So are there techniques I can take and try at home? Maybe I want to ask some questions of the workshop leader or the yoga teacher. Am I doing this right? How's my form? Could I be doing it differently? Now I'm looking at that through a lens of abundance. And maybe I'm going to take that class and not nail a handstand, but I'm going to leave thinking, wow, I learned something and I can keep practicing and hopefully I'll nail it, but I'm going to enjoy my journey to handstands even though it didn't happen all in one day. That's a lot more loving and kind towards myself, as well as not having this attachment to the idea of what it should be like. My challenge for you this week is to think about an idea or a situation that you have become attached to and try to see if we can look at that from a lens of abundance. Well, what could I learn? Would it still be enjoyable? Is there maybe something else I could get out of it? So for instance, maybe you go on a date this week. And maybe instead of being attached to the idea that this is going to be the one, it's going to be the person I fall in love with, it's going to be forever. And then maybe there's things that you don't like about them, or maybe they aren't interested in you, or maybe the date gets canceled, maybe you're going to go into that date and say, what am I going to learn about myself? Maybe I'm going to take notes after and kind of think about, what did I like? What did I not like? Is this somebody I could actually see a future with? Is this somebody that maybe could teach me things about myself or teach me things about new interests or activities? If it's a situation that you're going into and you happen to be anxious or a planner, maybe instead of picturing the way it should be or has to be or what success looks like in this situation, you go into it, and if things don't go as well or as according to plan, maybe you try to ask yourself, well, what could I learn from this? Can I still have fun even if it's not exactly what I wanted it to be? And can I still have a good time? Does it really matter that much that it wasn't exactly the way that I planned it in my mind? Can I let go of that attachment and just be here in this moment and enjoy what it is? I know we didn't actually practice a mindfulness today together, but this is some homework because it is a very mindful moment to have to check in with yourself to see how you're feeling about things. And it's also a very mindful activity to see if we can try to let go of something that isn't serving us. I hope you have fun with this activity. I'd really love to see how this goes for you. If you want to leave a comment, or if you happen to be one of my patients and you want to talk about it in session, that would be wonderful to hear. Either way, I hope that you have a very mindful day. Goodbye.